Hi, Jack Jackway, back with Next Gen AI Survival. This is the first time we're doing this. My intent here is to create a series of podcasts, videos, whatever term you want to use, with young, successful entrepreneurs who have tackled the world of artificial intelligence and are using technology to really create tremendous success. So let's see how this goes. I'm very fortunate today to have met Parth Arora here at Arizona State University. Parth is, I think, a junior in college. He'll let us know. But let me introduce Parth. And Parth, why don't you describe a little bit about yourself, if you could, please?
Yeah, of course. My name is Parth Arora. I am 19 years old, and I'm currently a sophomore at Arizona State University, studying supply chain management and business data analytics. I currently run a marketing agency, which has been open for around 4.5, 5 years, working with multiple industries in various sizes, ranging from anything from food and drink to jewelry to e-commerce to brick and mortar shops. So everything in between.
So what does that mean, Parth? You say you have, how did you start them?
I started back in high school. I had a passion for creating videos online, how people were seeing people, and how videos made me think a certain way of someone. This was right after COVID, and there was a lot of brick and mortar companies, which are basically family-owned small shops, that were struggling. COVID was hard on everybody. It was especially hard for these brick and mortar shops who relied on people being outdoors and not having a lot of online sales. So I went to these companies, I rode my bike there, and I said, hey, let me help you out.
So you were in high school at the time?
I was in high school, yeah. I couldn't even drive yet, which posed its own issue, but I got really good at biking, I'll tell you that. I got really good at biking those few weeks. And as much as I wanted to help these companies, I kept running into the same problem. You're not old enough, you can't drive, why am I putting anything in the hands of you? And it was valid. So I offered to do work for free for 6 to 7 months, and I showed them what I could do. I started off with very simple, let me record some videos for your Instagram, you know, the basic of content creation. Let me fix your website a little bit. I think it could look a little better. And so I started doing these for all these different companies, and slowly I kept growing my skill set and my passion for marketing. I really liked how all these things tie in together to make people buy something or the way people view a certain product. Over the years, obviously, as I got more experience, I started getting paid more, and I was able to expand from these small family-owned shops to bigger companies that were doing a wide variety of things like I had earlier mentioned.
So if I can jump in here, Parth, how did you, what I'll call, learn the technology? Were there tools that you used? Were there courses that you took, or you just did it on your own?
It was an absurd amount of trial and error. I failed a lot, but everything was online. And if it wasn't, it was easy enough for me to just use enough to the point where I was able to figure something out. And even nowadays, even with knowing all these tools, everything is changing every day.
Yeah.
And constantly giving myself a situation or just having a small passion about it and being a little bit curious about it is keeping me ahead, because I'm able to figure things out that are changing early on rather than waiting for somebody else to come give me everything to learn.
So, given that you're a junior here at ASU, right?
Sophomore.
Sophomore. Don't want to get ahead of myself. Over the next 5 to 10 years, how do you see what you're doing, or where you want to take your marketing company? How do you see that progressing, and how will AI play a role in that?
I think AI has already changed the marketing space in a way that I couldn't even imagine up until a couple months ago. I went to a seminar a few months ago for Databricks, and they talked a lot about AI and their usage of it. And it made me realize that as much as everyone's talking about it, everyone seems more scared of it than they are utilizing it. And so I really wanted to learn how to utilize it. And with the marketing agency, I want to figure out how can I let AI make me more productive. That's my biggest issue right now, is how can I become more efficient at what I'm doing? Because I know what I'm doing is great, but how can I make it even better and quicker? I started with creating Arora AI, which, again, not a very creative name. It's all my last name plus whatever field I want to go into. And it was created on the basis of replacing my marketing agency. It was, I can leave the agency and start something else, but it would have been a full service. You implement this AI into your company, it does everything a marketing agency would. It does market research, it tells you what to make, it's tracking everything that's being made online. And it sounds great, and I thought it could be done, and it could be done. But AI is better used in my head now when somebody is behind it and it is assisting something, not replacing it. And I think that's what a lot of people are failing to realize. Everyone's saying AI is just going to take over everything. I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to, if people can use it right, it can make somebody 10 times more efficient at what they're doing. And that's how I restructure the way I was thinking about it.
You know, I want to interject here, Parth, because that's really the message that AI is not going to necessarily eliminate a lot of jobs, but instead of needing 10 people to do something, your company may only need 3. And those 3 people, and the whole purpose of Next Gen AI is to help young adults figure out how they can be one of those 3. And to do that, they got to know the AI skills. They have to understand the AI skills, because the jobs aren't going to be eliminated, but they're just not going to need as many of them.
Yeah.
What, if you don't mind me asking, how do you, if you were to give advice to a high school senior right now, somebody that's 14, 15, 16 years old, and they're trying to figure out what's going to happen in their lives. Most 14 and 15-year-olds aren't thinking about that. But if they were, because you're an incredible success right now, what kind of advice would you give them?
I would say explore anything and everything. The last thing I wanted when I was growing up was just to be in a field that I didn't thoroughly enjoy. And that's the only thing that kept me in marketing, especially. I can be in any industry. Especially now with AI and everything, you're going to be able to utilize it and make money the way you want to. It's more about finding what you're passionate about and implementing ways to learn more about it consistently.
How would they do that? Do they go on site? Do they go online? Do they take AI classes? There are so many classes that are available online that tell you what AI is and describe AI. Would you start taking those classes?
I would say start with taking a class, learn a little bit about it, and then use it in your own way. The best way I feel learning AI worked for me was not watching all these videos. I first started with prompting, which, if you guys don't know, it's how to structurally tell AI something to get the best results. And I thought, okay, if I want to learn AI, why don't I start here? I watched a ton of videos on prompting, and I got to a point. I mean, it's very simple. You're telling AI a personality, and you're telling it instructions like you would anything, and it does it. The one I had the most fun with, and the one where I feel like I learned the most, was leaving all of that, learning some online, but then using it in my own way, whether it was for anything I wanted to do. If it was making a cake, right? Just talking to AI, learning how to use it in everyday things was a lot more helpful to me than just sitting down and watching a video. Implementation and practice will always be better than just studying it.
So are you concerned at all that AI is going to replace somebody's ability to be articulate, to write their own essay, and they become too reliant on, let's say, a chat GBT agent? Are you concerned about that at all?
I don't think so. The way AI can really be used is you're telling it a personality and you're giving it instructions. If you use it to simply amplify your thoughts, it will do it. AI in itself is not inherently creative. That's one of the biggest problems. It is not creative on its own. It will make things up. It'll say what's already been done. It won't make anything new. So if people rely too much on it, it's not going to have the same result. They're never going to get the same amount of creativity or different things that they're going to get, and they're simply consuming and not creating. And I think that's a big problem right now.
Parth, one last question. If you could wave a magic wand, what would you be doing in 10 years? You'll be all of, what, 28, 29 years old?
29 years old. Easiest answer is I just want to be doing something I love. But recently, I've hit a point of stopping the consuming aspect and increasing my creating aspect of life. I feel like when I was younger, I had this whole thing of how many things can I create? Or they try teaching you it. And growing up, it ended up with TikTok, YouTube, all these other platforms. I just started consuming a lot more than I was creating, and I was losing that aspect of it. So hopefully in 10 years, I'm creating more than I'm consuming, regardless of what it's in. If it's in any of these passions from like real estate to marketing to AI and how to use it, I would hope that in 10 years, if I wave that magic wand, that I'm still creating regardless of how I'm using everything.
Parth, I lied to you. I do have one last question. I promise this will be the last one. And I appreciate it. Bless your heart. In the United States, there are about 3.5 million kids, young adults, that earn a high school diploma every year. Today, of that 3.5 million, roughly 2 million go to a 2-year or 4-year school. Of that number, in the end, only 750,000 come out with some sort of a degree that they use in their first job. 50% of the college graduates today end up their first job not even using their college degree. How would you advise a high school junior or senior on the thought process they should use in terms of going to college, or how to use AI to augment college, or how to use AI to not have to go to college but do what you did, become your own entrepreneur, even though you're in college?
College gives you knowledge. What you decide to do with that knowledge is completely up to you. I'm here because I want to create something with what I learn. And if you're coming to college just to get the degree and tell someone you have this degree, so you should give me something, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to create with what you're learning, back to my point of consuming or creating more than you're consuming, in order to get anywhere, regardless of what you want to do. If you want to skip college and you want to learn stuff, if you learn it and don't create with it, it's useless. If you go to college and you learn stuff but you don't create with it, it's useless again. If you want to make something happen, you have to create something with what you're learning and not just have it in your head. And I think that's where a lot of people are falling out, is they have all this knowledge, but they didn't create anything with it. They don't know how to create anything with it, and they haven't tried. And the people that do end up using it are people that wanted to create something with it and wanted to use it and not just get it to say, hey, I have a diploma.
So do you perceive that you can use AI to help you create stuff, to give you ideas on how to create it?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think AI is going to help you create things, come up with ideas on how to create things.
And when we say AI, let's start with ChatGPT.
Yeah. I use Gemini.
Okay.
I like Google Gemini a lot. I think I've told all my friends this. That is my main platform. But all of the chatbots, you just need to talk to it. You need to stop asking it for answers on everything, and you need to start asking it for assistance on it. And that's where I've seen the most success. It's, if I asked for the marketing agency, if I asked it, hey, just do this for me, it'll do it, but it doesn't learn anything about me. And in the future, it's not going to help me anything more than what it already just did. The people that are creating a history with their AI of asking and talking to it and assisting it, and both of them collaborating as if it's a team project, AI will help them create 10 times more because it understands their personality, what they want it to do. So I think people just need to keep creating with AI, not just asking it things. And it can do it, but it's not going to be helpful in the long run.
Parth, I could talk to you young people forever about this. I can't compliment you enough. One of the things that I would tell the audience is that, I don't know if you noticed this, but he went through that whole discussion in an articulate fashion, didn't use the word didn't use the word like, maybe once or twice, I didn't really pay attention. But the point of it is, it's not just what you create, but as equally important is how you're able to communicate it. And that's one of the lost arts that I'm afraid, that I personally, as an old grandfather, am afraid of, is that if young adults rely so much on the computer that they're not able to be articulate and sell their point of view or communicate it in an effective fashion, it won't be as good, and their results won't be as great. But regardless of that, Parth, thank you for your time.
Yes.
Tell a little bit about the business card and your website, and then for those of you that are interested, in the description, there will be links so that you can go to Parth's website as well as see his personal business card. So Parth, why don't you describe that?
Yeah, of course. There's going to be 2 links in the description of this video. One of them is going to be my name with .bio at the end, and the second one will be my company website. The business card will have everything, and if you guys want to contact me and chat, I'm always happy to chat. I love meeting new people, and I love talking to you guys about anything. So I'm completely open and free into doing any of it.
Parth, thank you so much.
Yes,
Bless your
of
heart.
course.
Best of
Thank
luck
you.
to you.
Yes,
Best of luck.
thank you so much.
Thank you.